Hi. So another day and another video is scheduled. So today I kind of messed up with my weigh-ins because I forgot to bring my regular gym clothes to the gym. So I was having to get my weight in regular jeans and a regular shirt, and basically now the readings on the scale are not consistent really with what I usually do, so I will sort of have to fix that tomorrow by going to the gym and sort of correcting and get a new value. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I kind of forgot to bring the gym clothes because I brought them home to wash them, and then I was stressed in the morning when I went to university, and I just forgot about bringing the gym clothes, which is quite unfortunate actually. But now things are what they are, and you can see that the readings of the scale, which are a bit higher than they should be, but still it's sort of an indication that things are going in the wrong direction still. And I wanted to talk a bit about that because I'm sort of worried about the direction that things are taking, and I would like to talk about what I want to sort of do in the future and things I've identified as problematic. So a new thing that I've realized is actually really problematic is my shopping habits. So I want to explain that. So the new system in the store I usually go to buy food is a bit different from what it used to be. So before, you always had these checkout lanes where you had someone who was manning the register, a cashier basically, and you would have to interact with the cashier. You put it on the regular way of paying for your groceries. But now they have this self-checkout system, which is sort of you just do it yourself. And I've been using that a lot lately, and I think it has a very detrimental effect on the way in which I shop for food, because now there aren't really any checks and balances by having another person looking at what I buy. I know for a fact that these people who are manning the registers, they don't care what I buy, but at the same time, having another person like inputting what it is that I'm buying, it's so that I can see it for myself, that is sort of this kind of mechanic, this social mechanic that regulates behavior in some sense. Because when you have this self-checkout, then you don't have any sort of balances. You don't have anyone looking at what you're buying. Then you can basically buy whatever you want. It's completely anonymous. You don't have to care about anything. And I think that is very dangerous, especially when you are struggling with some kinds of addiction, with food addiction, because then you basically can buy whatever you want, whenever you want, without feeling any kind of social embarrassment or anything for that matter. You don't feel anything. You can just buy things through the self-checkout. And that's something I've been doing lately. And I noticed that even though it's convenient, it may not be the best idea for me to use the self-checkout, at least not frequently, because there is this nice regulatory effect of having to interact with a cashier, because then you have to think, and then you have to stand in line with other people who can see what you're putting on the register to be bought. And that can have positive effects if you're planning on buying, unhealthy food. Because the fact of the matter is that there is social stigma attached to eating snacks and stuff like that all the time. And so if you go to the store every day and buy that, then if you're lucky, you can use this sort of embarrassment to your advantage to regulate your own behavior in a much more simple manner than just having to rely on your own self-discipline. You can now also rely on your self-embarrassment in some ways. So I'm probably going to stop using the self-checkout for a while, unless I'm really stressed and it's the only option. But more broadly, should also really start planning out my purchases more carefully. So when I go into a store, I have basically a list and then I buy from the list and nothing else. That should be the way I do shopping, especially when you have this kind of problems that I do. You don't let your gut decide what to buy. Your gut wants to buy all the candy. Your gut wants to buy these unhealthy things. You can't listen to it. So those are strategies I'm planning on sort of implementing this coming week. And hopefully it will have positive effects. I'm having sort of a party at home here this Saturday, so I will have to buy some snacks and stuff for that. But at least then it will be planned in detail. And I think that's sort of the important point that I've been missing lately. When I bought stuff lately, I haven't had any plans. I haven't really thought about it very much. I haven't reflected. I've just been like, oh, convenient. Now I have the self-checkout. Now I don't have to sort of feel embarrassed by this. Now I can just sort of sneakily buy stuff that I know are unhealthy and I won't get any judgment whatsoever. So yeah, not good at all. So I have to be much more careful with how I buy things. And I will have to think a bit about the snacks I buy, whether I should even be buying them or if I can ask someone else to buy. Those are options that I have in this scenario, definitely. If we look at the way I look right now, I feel personally like I have gained some weight and I can sort of feel it. My gut has become bigger. I see more of a double chin or whatever it's called. So I noticed that I've gained some weight since my lowest point, so to speak, or since my least heavy period during the summer, where the hernia just basically ruined everything. But now I'm kind of getting worried that I will end up back where I started at the end of the year, and that would not be fun at all for me. So if nothing else, for the retrospective I'm planning on holding after New Year's, I will be more careful now going forward, especially with the things I buy, because I think it's a lot easier for me not to bake unhealthy things than it is for me not to buy unhealthy things. Or rather, it's a lot easier for me to buy unhealthy things than it is for me to make unhealthy things. So I can still bake, I can still make things that I know are unhealthy, but it takes a lot more effort and it takes a lot more premeditation than just going to the store and sort of like intuitively feeling what it is that you want. So from now on, a lot more careful about all of this. And hopefully it will have positive effects. So when we talk about my back situation, things are going slowly. Not much improvement, but I don't think things have gotten any worse either. So I'm kind of happy, or at least sort of happy with the situation with my back. I think things are improving, although the improvements are slow at this point. So we'll see when I sort of talk to my physiotherapist. He has gone away for an extended period of time, so I will have to take it after Christmas. But when we sort of evaluate, I hope that my pain is gone, but I'm not certain it will be gone quite yet. Besides that, I don't have much more to say. Now I've finished my PhD, so I have a lot more time to sort of unwind and actually relax for a bit. And I don't feel as anxious about that anymore, and that's also great, I think. So yeah, that's all from me. Until next time, have a good one. Goodbye.